Christmas reminds us of God's power. Isaiah 9:6 is a famous prophecy written hundreds of years before Christ was born. It was about him. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. When life seems hopeless, you need God's power, His presence, His provision, and His power. Why do you need God's power? Because when our power is gone, that is when God's power could be seen. That's why the Apostle Paul said in 2 Corinthians 12:9, I rejoice in my weaknesses, because when I am weak, God can show His power. I'm reminded of a lawyer I read about recently who descended into the depths of depression. Things were going so badly for him that his friends, and these are the right kind of friends, removed every knife, razor, and scissor in his home without his knowledge, because they were afraid he would take his life. And this young lawyer wrote in his journal these words at that time. He said, I am now the most miserable man living. Whether I shall ever be better, I cannot tell. I fear I shall not. Well, we are glad to tell you he was wrong. You see, this young man had a quiet faith in God. This quiet faith in God he never talked publicly about, but everyone who knew him said he had, would take him from depression and take him out of hopelessness. Who was this young lawyer? His name was Abraham Lincoln. He would survive that depression and become one of the greatest leaders not just America had seen, but the world has ever seen. And it was his quiet faith in God and His power that lifted him out of it. Beloved, true hope is hope which has seen everything and endured everything and has not given up because it believes in God. True hope is not hope in the human spirit. It is not hope in human goodness. It is not hope in human endurance, in human achievement. True hope is hope in the power of God. True hope is hope that our weakness will show us that God is enough when we have run out of all our resources and strength. Today I want you to do this. Will you please do this? Bring up in your mind what is troubling you right now. What's making you lose hope? Just think about it. Say this in your heart. God's got this. And He is strong, even though I am weak. Remind yourself of that, dear friends. You see, because of God's presence, His provision, and power, you do not need to lose your hope.